So for Jamie and Renee, was there ever a moment of like, oh God, not the cameras again?
There was. I said, as long as you don't show my big fat white butt again, we can do this.
For me, there wasn't.
You were immediately on board?
Yeah, cameras don't bother me.
And was the experience, I mean, obviously your lives have changed so much since the first film, but just having done it once, was being a subject the second time, did it feel comfortable at that point, or was it still, was there a moment of, a lot of times documentarians talk about the subjects getting to that point where they forget that the camera's on them all the time. Did you guys click right into that, or was it kind of readjusting to, oh, here we go again with this?
I think I'm used to being in front of a camera. It seems like it's part of my life these days, and it was never, as I watch this film now, I think I cried more during this showing of it than the first time I saw it, because so much has gone on since the end of this film. Can I enlighten you?
Absolutely, of course.
So at the Bluebird Theater, Lisa proposed to me in April. Linda, how much can I say? Okay. and so after she proposed at the show at the Bluebird, we told Linda, and of course Linda was there, but so Linda went and got her Universal Church minister's license, and we all went down to Florida in April, and on April 19th, I have the tattoo on my arm yet to prove it, we got married on a beach, and I sang for her. Oh, wait, it's not that good yet. And Lisa had lots of depression issues and some bipolar issues, and in September she asked for a divorce. So by the end of the same year that I was proposed to, I was divorced, and I'd met someone new. She's not here today. Her name's Tanya, and we've been hanging out for the last 6 months, and that's all going great. And Lisa always had issues about the fact who I used to be. It didn't matter how much she cared about me now. She could never, and I'm going to blame this on living in Kentucky all her life, but she could never get past the fact of who I used to be. And in the process of seeing this film, I took Tanya with me to show her, and of course I had to tell her the whole story about my life at that point. And she said, why would I care who you used to be? I know who you are now. And that was what I've always looked for in a mate, always. And so I hope that my life goes on with her in it, and there's rings, and it's going really great. So it's been a wild year and a half or 2 years, and one of these days I'm going to get old enough to retire and calm down, I guess.
Ready?
Yeah.
I forgot the question.
Bring me in.
What was the getting used to being on camera again?
Yeah, like I said, camera doesn't really bother me, so I'm not really shy. I don't get too excited about much in life. So what might normally bother other people don't bother me. It's not an arrogance about me. It's just like I make it like a normal everyday thing.
I'd like to ask the two of them something, if I may.
Please.
I've been waiting to ask this for a while. But I want to say, when we first made the first film, we actually cast it. We called the doctors who do the surgery, and we talked to people, and obviously chose two people who are very open and comfortable being themselves. I think Renee was born on camera, probably. And what kind of an incredible talent is this? Her music. How blessed were we?
Thank you.
But, you know, all producers will tell you, and all directors, I don't want to fail to mention Emily Abt, our director, who did a wonderful job, that nobody is ever 100% happy. I know a lot of famous actors who only work with certain directors because they trust them. But I heard various things from each of these people about how they felt about the movie, and I feel I would be remiss in order to have come full circle, I'd like to hear whether you each felt it depicted things honestly. Well, I'm giving you the chance, Jamie. I know how you feel. It's all right. I'm okay with the truth. How they each felt about, did the movie do it justice? What did it leave out? Is that all right with you that I'm asking this
Speak
question?
now or forever hold your
So,
peace.
Jamie, and then Renee, please.
I kind of felt that I would have liked to seen more about how I got to Nashville and the things that I went through to get there, and like Jimmy Payne and Jerry Foster in the movie, I really, felt that they should have had a little bit more of a piece of that, because the first night that I went to Nashville, I got a phone call and I was coming back from touring and playing Jimmy Buffett music down in the Keys, and this lady said, "Can you come and play? I've got an opening of my songwriters round here in Nashville." And I said, "I'd love to." It's the first time I've ever been there. I was freaking out. I was like all excited. And my first time on stage was with people like Jimmy Payne and Jerry Foster. Jimmy Payne, if you don't know, wrote the song "Woman, Woman" for Gary Puckett in the Union Gap. I'm sure many of you know that song, right? Yeah? No? And, all right, there we go.
Did you feel that this depicted yours? I'm jumping in only to make sure that we have the time. Did it depict your story the way you would have wanted it to?
I just would have liked to seen it have more involvement in what went on in my life over the last 15 years, and there's so much that you can't put in an hour and a half film. And overall, I think that we did a great job at getting the core of everything that could possibly be gotten. I think it should have been 2 hours long, so we could have involved more of my life as a musician in that. So,
See how she said more of her life, right? And you call me narcissistic. Initially, I did not like the new movie. That was my initial thought, and Bruce, who knows me really well, I've been friends with Bruce and Franny and these guys for 15, 16 years now, so Bruce knows me pretty well. But that was the first time seeing it, and I tend to form judgments pretty fast about something sometimes. And we did another festival where I seen it the second time, and I seen things that I didn't see the first time. And Bruce explained to me, some of the reasoning behind. I didn't like the fact that Juana was put so much in this one, but Bruce explained to me that there's a lot of people who didn't see the first show. So seeing this show, it just things started to make sense. And in that point in my life, 16 years ago, I wasn't an advocate for anything. I was just, I was hurt by a church. I was hurt by a woman who I had been with. But my life has evolved so much since that point in time. I'm not a completely different person because I'm generally a pretty happy person. Just the first movie, if you've seen it, I was pissed off. And when I'm pissed off, I have the tendency to say, fuck you, in several different ways. I'm not, this is a good time in my life. I fell in love with somebody who's great for me. And I don't say in love easy, because I believe there's a big difference between loving someone and being in love with them. But now I think that the movie is a pretty good depiction of where my life is today. And I also didn't like in the first, in this one, I didn't like, I thought Jamie and I were completely different people. But the reality of life is every trans person is not the same. Their lives are completely different. So I think you did a good job ultimately.
can I say something else?
Yeah. Do you have the time?
Can I say something else?
Sure, and then we're gonna.
So, most of you out there won't know this, but yesterday was the first time that Renee and I had ever met each other, and we've talked on the phone a few times, but it was strange because I didn't really want to meet him after seeing the first film because I thought he was
An asshole.
an asshole. Okay, you got it. No, I just thought he was pretty angry, and didn't want that any more of that in my life. And after meeting Renee and Elda, and I am so blessed to have them in my life, and I think it's amazing. Love you.
We have time to take a couple of questions from the audience if folks have any. Yes, sir, right in front.
Just first of all, thank you both for exposing yourselves like that to the world. I mean, that's important, and thank you for making the film. I think you half answered my question, Renee.
Okay.
The one scene that bothered me was when you were with that group of kids and they were asking you to advocate, or that gentleman was asking you to advocate on their behalf for the bathroom bill. I guess it was in Texas.
Yeah.
And you said, at least on camera, you said you were just interested in, you know, advocating for yourself. Have you changed? It seems like you have changed in that regard, because you are such a good advocate, just being you, for the movement. And I think it would have been really important for them to meet you, and while they were discussing that kind of an issue.
No, I spend a lot of time with the kids, and so I didn't say I wouldn't advocate in the movie. I said I've never advocated.
Okay.
I've not really been, you know, the LGBT community has not really welcomed me in with open arms, because I'm a very different individual. And I do have I'm very headstrong, and I either lead or I get out of the way. And so that, to a lot of people, that's intimidation. You know, that's intimidating. I carry an intimidating presence for a lot of reasons. But, you know, I want my life to make a difference. And the way you make your life make a difference is to help other people. I believe that's the only reason we're really here, is to help other people. So it's not that I'm not open to it, it's that I've never been invited to it, and that's a big difference.
You know what, may I say one thing quickly? I know we have a limited amount of time. When we pitched this to Showtime, we said there are 5 characters: Jamie, Renee, Middle America, the then versus now. And one of the poignant scenes to me, I wasn't in, I don't know if we got a laugh, was when at Louisville, I think it was Maddie says, you know, what about intersectionality? And Jamie said, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The point is that things are very different now from then, and a lot of the kids going through it now don't go through anything like what they had to go through. But you made a point that I want to make sure that I know that Stu and Lynn and Franny feel this way. Look, I'm an alpha male, all right? I'm married. You probably can tell that. Sorry, Stu. But the thing is that I say to people, and I'm a physician too, if you've watched me on NBC, I did the news for 30 years. There are as many sick heterosexuals in the world as there are sick lesbian and gay and transitional and they. And there are as many healthy. Every story is individual, and you know, Renee's being honest. He didn't want to be in the same movie as Jamie. He wanted a movie about himself. But the point is...
she wanted more time, so there's no difference.
The point is, the 2 different stories, every story is different. And these people are healthy, normal people. And it's crucial. And, you know, talking about one of the last things, as filmmakers, okay, you've got to show loss for there to be a payoff. They gave up a lot to go through their transitions. And we needed to show that so that there was payoff at the end, which is why Juana was in it so much. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. We need to wrap up, but if you all want to be available in the lobby, if folks have questions, is that?
Yeah.
Great. So if you've got questions, they will be happy to entertain them outside, but we have to get to the next house. And so thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. Thank you all for coming.